Hello and welcome to my channel, and if this is your first time here, my name is Millie and I love eyeshadows and creating lots and lots of looks and trying lots and lots of formulas. And today I'm going to be creating 3 looks with the new MAC eyeshadow palette from their holiday 2021 release. They also launched a bunch of other eyeshadows and lipsticks, etc, but this video is only about this particular palette. I love the packaging, it's really fun. I actually didn't know that it did this when I purchased it, but it's super fun. It is made out of plastic, so let's take a look at the inside, because the reason I was intrigued and I really wanted to try this from MAC because the last MAC eyeshadow palette I tried was the Feast Your Eyes palette, and I really like that one. But this is the inside color story. As you can see, we've got some colorful options in here, and that is why I was very drawn in, because I love colorful eyeshadows. I was very surprised when I got this palette because I was not expecting the pans to be this small. I mean, the palette's like decent size, but the pans are really small. So here is a 26mm regular eyeshadow pan in comparison. So this is probably about half, maybe even less than half of the product of a 26mm. And this palette is $75, which, you know, MAC pricing. But is it worth it? I'm going to be showing you some swatches as well as 3 looks, and I'll give you some of my thoughts at the end of the video. So just keep watching. Priming with the Natasha Denona eyeshadow primer. I'm so curious. Okay, do these have names? All right, there's no names on these, so I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. I feel like I need to do a neutral look with this palette just to really try out like all the shades between the 3 looks. But I'm really curious because the last palette I tried was the Feast Your Eyes, and that one has some like very special mattes, like almost like a cream to powder, similar to the Natasha Denona cream to powder. On the outer corner, I'm dipping into this deep brown, and I'm gonna deepen out the outer corner. So far, so good. Seems to be going pretty smoothly. That was a pretty easy blend, but again, these are just neutral shadows. So we're gonna use this brush, and I'm gonna feather that out on the outer corner. Like could have been another deeper matte shade in here. I'm gonna use my Fernie Pixie Epoxy because from swatching, these shimmers need the help for sure. They need something, because otherwise I feel like I'm just gonna be really disappointed with how they look. Picking up this peachy golden shimmery shade. I believe this is what they call a dazzle formula, so it's supposed to be really shiny and sparkly, which it definitely is. Then I'm gonna dip into this. I think this is another dazzle shadow. This is a like almost golden type of shade. It feels like kind of powdery. I don't know. Just feel like I'm not impressed so far. We'll see how the colorful mattes work. Okay, I feel like I need to go back in with a peachy shade. Kind of lost it a bit. Just gonna go all over the lid, and it came out pretty nice. I think I lost the deep brown, so I'm gonna go back in and tap in a little bit more of the dark brown. I'm just finishing off this look with connecting my lower lash line with that dark brown. So here's the first finished look. I'm gonna be really colorful on this side. Priming with the Natasha Denona eyeshadow primer. Going in with this purple matte. I can't believe how tiny these pans are. I am honestly so shocked. I feel like it doesn't want to blend. Yeah, that does not look cute. I don't know if it's the primer. I'll probably use it. I'm gonna try a different primer for the 3rd look, or maybe it's just the fact that it's a purple, but honestly, I've tried so many great purples at this point from non-mainstream brands. Right, I picked up this like nudish shade, and I'm gonna try to help blend that out. I don't know if that really did anything going back in with the purple. Oh man. Next, I'm taking this teal and popping that right next to the purple. Definitely very pigmented, but again, it's like sticking down. I wish there was a lighter teal matte in here. I definitely wish there were more mattes in here than shimmers. I feel like it's about even. I'm not sure. I haven't counted yet. But this is alright. Yeah, it's looking pretty patchy. So I'm gonna go back in and press it in and really try to bring it up and blend it. Oh my goodness. This is not coming out how I wanted it to. And the outer corner, I'm gonna go in with this dark green matte. Maybe it's also the brush, I don't know. I'm really trying to understand why these wouldn't work. Again, trying to blend it up. I'm gonna switch a brush. All right, I switched brushes because that was just not a great time. I'm gonna try to blend this out corner. I'm gonna go in with a smaller blending brush. Again, taking the Fahrenheit Pixie Epoxy and doing a half cut crease. I'm gonna go in with this duochrome looking shade down here. I'm just gonna put it along my lower lash line, and that just looks sad. I don't know, that just looks like, not good. Not good at all. Above that, I'm gonna go in with this bright shimmer blue, and it's gonna be right up here. Now that is nice. Is it the shimmeriest? Not really. I need to do something with this purple. I'm gonna put a different purple over it. I dab in my brush and I'm gonna go into this duochrome instead. It seems like it's a little bit sparklier. And I'm gonna take that over where I put down the other shade. Yeah, that's not exactly translating. Fix this outer corner a little bit. Still doesn't really want to blend out here. Having some major issues trying to blend that out. Finishing off the look with the green under my lower lash line to connect the outer corner. Then I'm going in with the purple I used on the inner portion of my lid. And I'm just gonna put that next to it. I picked up this shade in the center and I wet my brush, and I'm gonna pop that on the inner corner as the inner corner highlight. Here's a second finished look. Alright, third and final look, I'm priming with the Be Perfect eyeshadow primer. And I'm gonna lightly set this with some translucent powder. Gonna go in with this brown in the crease. Just gonna tap it on. Blend it out. I'm not gonna take it all the way down on the other side because I'm gonna go in with the blue. So yeah, it's a brown eyeshadow, so I would hope that this would blend, but so far it seems like it might be a primer issue with the mattes specifically, but some of the other mattes seem to blend fine on the other primer, so I'm not really sure. Dipping into the deep blue matte, and I'm popping that on the outer corner. Seems nice and pigmented. Just backing on a little bit more. So far, so good. Putting on a little bit more. I feel like every time I blend, it kind of comes off just a little bit. I'm gonna bring it in here a little. Winging this out. I mean, the blend is really nice. I'm taking that under my lower lash line as well. I feel like, I don't know if you can see this, but I can see the powder flying everywhere when I go like this. I picked up that shimmery sort of blue that I used on the other look, and I'm gonna put that under my lower lash line. And I sprayed my brush so I could get the most color payoff. Going in with this gold, I'm gonna spray the brush, and I'm gonna put that all over the lid. Just taking it all the way. I'm gonna be doing sort of fake cut, half cut crease right here with that shimmer so that I don't have to actually cut the crease first and just go in with the shimmer. Wow, that seems pretty decently pigmented. Picking up the center shade again, and it's gonna be my inner corner highlight. Here's the finished look. All right, let's talk about this palette from Swatches. I immediately knew that this was not really on par from the other eyeshadows that I tried from the Feast Your Eyes palette. Obviously, this is a holiday collection, and these are smaller pans, and usually pretty common for brands to actually put lower quality things into their holiday releases because they have to make such huge quantities, and also they need to be able to make a profit. So it's very common. I know Too Faced has done it and been accused of it, and there's many other brands, so I'm not surprised that this would be lower quality. Unfortunately, the mattes are okay. They didn't seem to want to work really on a certain eyeshadow primer. They definitely worked better on a set eyeshadow primer, which is not always a big deal to me, but I mean, this palette is $75, so I really was hoping that there would be no issues with the mattes whatsoever, but I mean, I was able to get some depth. As for the shimmery shades, the Dazzle formula, which are some of these more sparkly kind of shadows, are a little bit more on par with like Burnovich eyeshadows and Glam Shop, so they're really sparkly. They are definitely the better ones out of this whole palette. I don't think this palette is worth $75 just because of those shadows, because there's a bunch of other shades. I mean, just from swatching them, honestly, they felt like the really cheaper formula from ColourPop, where they put those in some random collections that they launched throughout the year. So the Y2K collection is coming to my mind because I did purchase that one after a long time of not purchasing from ColourPop. I bought that collection, and those shimmers in there are beyond subpar. They honestly, like, they feel really powdery. They're not really metallic. They completely wipe away really easily. And I knew from swatching that I needed to use some sort of a tacky primer to really try to make these pop. And even then, this one shade that I used, I can't even remember which one because they're kind of similar. I believe it was this shade up here that I used. It just, even with the Fernie Pixie Epoxy, it really wasn't anything special, which, you know, it looks a little bit more satin, but I was hoping that it would give it a little bit of a kick, but it did not. So, I mean, if I can't make these work with a tacky primer, then that's really not a good sign. And I was hoping that the swatches would be, you know, misleading, because swatches are definitely not everything. That's usually why I don't like to swatch eyeshadow palettes before I use them. But in this case, I was just really, really curious to get my fingers into some of these metallic formulas, since I'm not too familiar with MAC eyeshadows. And the Feast Your Eyes palette had a much better quality, so I would absolutely not recommend this to anyone. You can get this color story from probably like ColourPop or something like that. Like, even ColourPop would be better than this. And I'm sad that this palette unfortunately did not work out for me, but you know, you win some and you lose some, and I wanted to give you my honest opinion. So that's really everything for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you picked this palette up. Do you have it en route? Honestly, cancel your order. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's so much makeup content, lots of eyeshadow tutorials with much better quality eyeshadows than these. Trust me, uploading my channel and much more to come. You don't want to miss out. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.